Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Xoxo, this is Xoxo Tarot, and in today's pick a card reading and pick a rock reading, I felt very called from your guides to give you a message from a specific guide that is working with you in general. Now, that doesn't mean that you only have one guide, but especially if you're drawn to more than one card, more than one group, it's likely that there's more than one guide that wants to communicate with you. But I wanted to give for each group a singular guide that of yours the opportunity to speak and share and communicate with you. So I'm really excited to get into this reading. I think it's going to be really awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with who is this guide, and we're going to let the guide describe themselves. And it's okay if you don't know who they are. You don't need to know who they are. And more often than not, you might want to place connections, and maybe they are accurate. Maybe that is this guide, but it's okay to not know who this guide is. For some of you, this might be this guide's opportunity to introduce themselves to you. We also are going to look at what are they helping you with, and this will really be the part where you get to ask yourself whether this reading is for you or not, because when it comes to what they're helping you with, if that's not something that's applicable to your life, I would pick a different group. But maybe note it in the back of your mind, because maybe it's something you will be dealing with in the future that this guide is wanting you to be aware of. Then we're going to move into tarot, and what I'm going to do with the tarot is I'm going to start by asking, what does this guide want you to know about this? And by this, I mean what they're helping you with. And then we are going to look at help, support, and or blessings that they're offering you, that all you need to do is basically say yes to, consent to, ask to. I kind of designed this question to be around the idea of us forgetting that we can ask for help, and us forgetting of the great power that comes from our guidance team. So I'm excited to see what they can support you with. Then we're going to look at reassurance. They're going to share some reassurance for any worries that you have, whether they're related to what we're talking about in the reading or not, just anything they want you to know. And then to finish off the tarot portion, we're gonna look at why they chose to be your guide. So I think that will be really cool, and I'm excited to do that, look at that as well. Then we're gonna move back into Oracle, and we're gonna start by looking at, it's half guidance, half do it if you want. We're going to look at ways that you can connect with this guide and ways that you can receive their presence, wisdom, support. And you don't have to be consciously aware of this. This could be it could just be a process of you doing this thing and feeling better after, or having a burst of inspiration, or you could consciously connect. But you don't have to do all of these things, but these are ways and things that you could try to connect and integrate what they're trying to share with you. And then we're just going to finish off with some final guidance from them to you. And with that being said, I do just want to remind y'all and stress that spirit guides are never judging you. They love you unconditionally, and they will never disrespect your boundaries or ask you to do something that is self-betrayal or not loving. If you guys ever encounter an energy or something claiming to be a guide that is not being very kind to you, or asking you to do things that are self-betrayal or self-destructive or anything of that nature, I would be discerning and maybe not interact with that, because it's likely not a guide. It's probably something that just wants your attention. But with that being said, we have 3 different groups for you to choose from today. We have 3 different cards here and 3 different stones that actually have words on the back of them. I turned them over so you can't see it, but starting with group number 1, we have this memory card. Not like a computer, but like a physical card. And we have this white rock on top with a mystery word. And then for group number 2, we have this serpent card and this brown rock on top with a mystery word carved on it. And then finally for group number 3, we have this sun bear card and this reddish, there's a lot of different colors in this one, but mainly reddish stone with a secret word carved on the back of it. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It is absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. Feel free to watch all of them if you want to. It's possible that 3 different guides could be coming through. I really hope this reading resonates and you find healing and clarity and peace from it. But with that being said, intro squad, it's time to make a wish, and we are making a wish on our queen, Kino Tarot's candle. It is back. You should definitely check it out and definitely go support her. These candles are fantastic and made by my same candle maker. And speaking of, before we make a wish, I wanted to ask you guys, what exciting things are happening in your life? What accomplishments have you accomplished recently, or just what good things are happening in your world? And if there's nothing that you can find that's good in your world, feel free to share that too. That's okay. You know, if you're really having a hard time seeing the good, feel free to share that as well. That's welcome. And I think acknowledging that is a good in of itself. I want to know, are you looking forward to something? Did you do something awesome? Or are you struggling right now and really having a hard time seeing the good? I'm really excited because literally in 24 hours, I will be at the airport picking up Miss Kino herself. So I make no promises that we'll make any content together because we're not really like content-y friends. Like, we've made stuff together, but every time we hang out, because it's so few and far between, because we're on other sides of the world, you know, we are having fun and, you know, living in the moment. So no promises that we'll make anything, but if we do decide to, if we do have time and want to, is there anything you guys want to see? I was kind of thinking about maybe us doing an updated Q&A. We did one like three or 4 years ago, the first time we ever hung out. And yeah, we haven't actually like made, every time we hang out, we're just too busy having fun. So no promises, but if there is something, any requests that you would like, we might consider it. But with that being said, if you want to go ahead and focus your wish into this candle, I will do the same. May yours, mine, and all of our wishes come true. Thank you for making a wish with me. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose this memory card and this white stone, which actually says dream on it, if you've ever seen the cinematic classic Shark Boy and Lava Girl, I just heard that dream song from it. If you've never seen it, I'll let you make that decision. Full breakdown of the reading in the intro, but we are going ahead and looking at who this guide is that's coming through and what they are here helping you with, or at least the thing that they're helping you with that they want you to know about. So memory is actually the first card that is meant to come out. I have crap on my desk. And we have the Lovers. So these 2 cards represent what this guide, who this guide is, how they describe themselves. And as for what they are helping you with, we have Tiwaz, Courage, Justice, and the 7 of Wands. Okay, I really love this guide's energy. And actually, I'm getting so many interpretations of what this could be specifically for you. If you need any confirmation as to what's applicable for you, I feel like for many of you, you'll just feel intuitively what hits for you. And it's possible too that there's multiple sources coming through. There's more than one guide, but they're all guides assisting with this one thing. So they're kind of coming in as a singular entity sort of. But if you're unsure of how to know what interpretations work for you, feel into your heart when I'm speaking of these. And if there's one that makes you feel really excited or that just feels right, it feels satisfying almost, I would say that's the one that you can take. And if you get a guide, you know, that I don't speak of, or like something that, if you feel something that I don't say, don't discard it. It's probably meant for you, and you can feel free to share it if you would like. I would love to hear. But I love this guide's energy. They are so fun and they absolutely adore you. This, for some of you, could definitely be a passed on loved one, or a guide that you have worked with for many lifetimes, where like you guys have incarnated together, they've incarnated, you've guided them, you're incarnated, they're guiding you. But this could also be the higher self of a counterpart, or somebody that you have a really special soul type of connection with, where the human person may be a source of inspiration or something like that, but their higher self, their spirit self, is assisting you and guiding as well. If not those, this could also be, like I said, a bunch of different guides that love you very much, that are all kind of, they have different faces and they interact in your life differently, but they all share this core frequency of love for you and are all working together to help you with what's going on in your life right now. I definitely think this guide is very chatty. You might hear them pop up in your mind when you have a thought that speaks in a different voice or brings you comfort. They might use someone else to be a vessel to give you a message you need to hear. So like, for example, if you're walking down the street and the stranger says something that blows your mind, like you needed to hear it, or a friend does, and it catches you off guard, I definitely feel like this guide speaks through others, which of course they do. Hello. They're doing it with me right now. And they are very chatty. Like, they love to talk. They love to talk to you. They love when you talk to them. And I think that communication is a really big thing for them too, because one thing that I feel that they are coming through to kind of discuss is that you actually interact with them a lot, but I think you forget very easily, which is totally fine. But it's kind of just one of those things where, you know, we forget things. And I think that you could actually have quite powerful interactions with this guide and completely forget about them the next day, or completely forget that they happened, or remember them differently, or be uncertain. And I definitely think that this guide, one of the things that they're trying to help you with is pay more attention to the interaction that you guys have with each other, because this guide really loves to give you clear, concise communication. Like, this is the type of guide where they're not going to be vague or obtuse. Like, if they can tell you, like, if they could be like, this is about as close as you can get to the Google Maps of guides. Like, they want to be as clear and concise as possible with you. And a lot of times their guidance, if you've been consciously connected to it or consciously aware of it, you will know that they usually come through with very clear-cut guidance, or they say things that may be very simple or very short but pack a huge punch. Like, they're very powerful with their words. I would also say that this guide is very evolved, and they definitely work with Archangel Raphael as well. Maybe if for some of you, you were feeling like this guide was Archangel Raphael for you, that could be confirmation as well. But even if you weren't thinking of that angel, I do think that this guide works in tandem with Archangel Raphael. This guide has a really big heart, has lots of love for humanity, and they also love the number 6, and this is also part of their cheeky nature. Like, they love the number 666 because they know it, like, other people associate that with like evil things, and it's really ironic to them because, like, there's really no such thing as an evil number, just the evil things humans project onto numbers. Numbers are just energies. And they're playful like that. Like, they don't mind messing with people, or not in like a way that's mean-spirited, but in a way that's just like poking fun at ignorance. Maybe they do that to you, but I definitely feel like they do that to other people. And you might actually witness that, where like you have the opportunity to poke fun at someone, or you see someone like, they kind of like playing some people for a fool for your entertainment. So if you find that there are people that like say things that are loud and wrong in front of you, or like make themselves look a bit foolish in front of you, it might be this guide kind of having fun with you, or giving you the opportunity to see others as humanity, and maybe you just need a little laugh. I also think as well, this guide has been with you for a very long time, and I think that this guide as well can embody both feminine and masculine energies. It seems like right now they're interacting with you in a more feminine energy, but I feel like they're very energetically androgynous. So when they need to be in a more masculine energy to support you, they'll embody that. When they need to be in a more feminine energy, they'll transmit with that. I definitely think as well they are a very visual guide. So they probably show up in your dreams as well. So if you have very vivid dreams, if you don't remember your dreams often, they might show up in dreams where you actually do remember them for once. Or you might make connections later with different aspects of dreams that you remember, and they've left their kind of mark and left messages there. I also think like light purple, white roses or white flowers, and flowy clothing could associate with them, as well as incense. I also think that for some of you, this could be a guide that's an ancestor that you never met, like they're further down your ancestral line and they just have a very deep connection to your soul. Like you guys have incarnated together, you have had experiences, but you wouldn't know human incarnations. And to be honest, some of the incarnations you may not have been on Earth with them, but they're making it very clear, like I choose, like they choose you, pile one every time, and like you kind of choose them. So this is definitely a guide that really loves you, really likes to be at the forefront of your life. And I would say this is likely a guide that will always be around so long as you want them there. And even if you don't want them there, like they will respect that, but they'll always be like, if you like, hey, I want to hear from you, they're gonna be right back front and center. They're very fast with their communication. They're very, they respond quite quickly. If you ask for signs, ask for support. If they're not giving it to you, it's because you don't need it. Because if you do need it, they're on it like that. Like they are fast. They're fast as fuck, boy. That being said, let's talk about what they're currently helping you with. So it seems like for all of you that chose this group, if this group is meant for you, it seems like you are at a bit of a crossroads, but at the same time, dealing with some sort of challenge that may require sacrifice, that may require hardship, or just require you to have courage and take the lead in your own life. They are here to assist you with that. For some of you, you could be in some sort of legal case or legal battle or court battle, and they could definitely be assisting you in gaining the resolve needed to move through what is likely a very stressful time. And also, I wouldn't even be shocked if they kind of influence things in the courtroom with other people to just kind of sway people to see justice. Because here's the thing, they're not going to sway something in your favor if it's unjust, but they will if it is just. And at least with the American justice system, I can say with confidence that a lot of things that there are unjust. So I definitely think that this guide is here to support you as you push against and fight against what you feel is holding you back or bringing you challenge or hardship. With the Seven of Wands here, this guide is really encouraging you to, number one, have the courage to face the resistance you're experiencing. And number two, learn to trust yourself and lean on yourself. Because this guide is definitely here to help you recognize where you have much more to offer than you recognize. Because I feel like, for example, like let's say for some of you this is a court case. While the situation may not be ideal, I don't want to say lessons learned, but the attributes you'll gain and the shift in perspective you'll have will give you a stronger sense of endurance and fortitude when things are challenging. I feel like this guide is here to help you recognize between battles that are worth fighting and battles that are not worth your time. I also think as well, this doesn't have to do with a court case, but I feel like for all of you, this does have to do with making powerful changes to lead a more balanced life. You could be stepping into a powerful leadership role. Maybe you are already in a leadership role and you're facing resistance or pettiness, jealousy, or people challenging you. I definitely think that this guide is here to help you move through whatever challenges are facing you at this time, not only with grace, but with integrity, and ensuring that as you move through these challenges, you're not left unsupported, even if you consciously feel like you are. I feel like that's partially why this guide came through to be like, hey, you're not going to be unsupported through this. But also, this could even extend to any sorts of relationships in your life where there's resistance or challenge, and you're waiting for a breakthrough where there can be more balance or change here. I definitely think with the Lovers being here, like for some of you, if you resonated with this guide being a higher self, it's possible that they're helping you move through the resistance that you may feel to breaking out of old patterns and having the courage to act towards this connection and your person in new ways. I also think in general, you know, when you think about when you're making changes in your life, it takes conscious effort, and it is kind of hard to get out of autopilot and make conscious choices and change how you're doing things. And there is like a mental resistance to it, and it feels awkward, and your mind just wants to stop. So it could even be as simple as maybe you're just making life changes right now that you're really nervous about, or that you're unsure if you'll be able to maintain them because it just feels like really challenging. And this guide is here to help support you through all of it. For all of you, no matter what challenges you're facing, this guide is rooting for you, and they're also helping you keep it light as possible as you face these challenges, so that you don't get too rooted in, you know, dense, heavy energies. This guide is trying to help you see that even in the face of immense challenge, you can not only discover parts of yourself that you didn't realize were there or had less confidence in, and also still make time for joyful experiences, to joke and play and have fun when you can. And also there's an energy here of standing up for yourself, facing your path with conviction and honoring who you are, and not allowing resistance or those that may want you to be smaller, or those that may want to bring injustice to your doorstep. Like, you are standing up for yourself in a way where you're no longer accepting that. Maybe you never accepted that, which is great. But like, if you've been consciously trying to heal people-pleasing tendencies, that's an example of something this guide is helping you with. Anything that helps you be more courageous, anything that helps you stand up for yourself in relation with others, anything related to justice, to defending yourself, to standing up for what's right, honoring your integrity, honoring what matters to you, all of that. This guide is helping you with and supporting you. And I would say as well, this guide may have been a part of your life where you experienced extreme injustices, and this guide feels a deep emotional conviction with you around supporting you as you overcome the memories of those experiences and realize that, you know, you're not bound by them forever and defined by them forever. And in fact, you can use them as fuel to write a new story and behave in ways that do honor you. So we're going to go ahead and get into the tarot now. And while I'm just shuffling, if you are enjoying this reading, if it is resonating, thank you for leaving me a little like, commenting, subscribbling. We're getting close to 400. I'm so excited. Thank you to everyone who's here. And you can also just like let the ads play for the first 30 seconds. That's super helpful. So thank you to everyone who does that. It's like the most helpful thing you can do. So that being said, this is not the easiest deck to shuffle. It's very thick. We're going to start by asking, what does this spirit guide want you to know about this topic of what we just discussed, of what they're helping you with? So group 1 spirit guide, what do you want group 1 to know about what you are currently helping them with? What do they need to know about these circumstances that they face? I feel like there's a beautiful, beautiful opportunity for resolution and healing here. And the thing is like, for some of you, for those of you that resonate with like the counterpart, like connection, intimate relationship interpretation, I definitely think this Ace of Cups is speaking to the fact that there are opportunities for emotional connection to really step into love with one another. And I do think that they are creating opportunities to make that happen, and creating more balance within you and within your counterpart, so that you guys can overflow with these emotions and not be so afraid of them that you run in the opposite direction. But also, I feel like this guide is saying for all of you, whether you do resonate with that interpretation or not, for those of you that don't especially, but for those of you that do as well, a big thing this guide wants you to know is that they've got your back. and that things are going to get lighter a lot sooner than you think. And I think another thing they want you to know is stop pushing away opportunities for fun, connection, joy, and things that just have like meaning for you, that feel good. They're calling me to use myself as an example. I considered going to Florida with Kino to see another amazing friend of ours, Victasia. She's Tarot with Tay. If you've never checked out Tarot with Tay, you should. She is fantastic. But I was like, dude, I don't know if I can. Like, it just would be kind of reckless for me to spend money on a plane ticket right now and stuff like that. Little did I know that on my table, I had tax returns that would have covered a plane ticket and accommodations plenty. And I'm like, man, if I just opened my mail like a normal human being and looked at it, I could have gone on that trip, but I said no because I thought I was doing the sensible thing, and I'm kind of bummed about it. But I'm also like, maybe the sensible thing was opening my mail. That being said, I do think that blessings are coming to you, and that's one thing this guide wants you to know, is that there are blessings that are coming to you that they are helping facilitate, that will bring you a lot of comfort. And I also think as well, if there's any questions that you had for this guide, or anything that you were wondering, or any questions that you came in like around a specific thing, the answer is yes. Unless the only way the answer is no is if a no would bring you this Ace of Cups, like relief, joy, love, overflowing emotion. They're definitely letting you know that first of all, they love you very much, and also there's lots of opportunities to step into more loving energy as you move through this time. And also, one thing they want you to know is that these challenges are bringing you closer to a deeper level of self-love, and recognizing how when you embody these loving energies towards yourself, it becomes a lot easier to stand up for yourself, to stand up for what's right, because you're not taking the reactions of others as personally, because you're recognizing that, you know, their responses to that are likely coming from a place of a lack of self-love. I also think, though, they're just wanting you to know that there are blessings incoming, and that things are going to be looking lighter and brighter. And they also want you to know that rainbows and roses are two signs that they like to send you. And I think that if you are in the midst of a storm, it's going to be clearing real soon, and you will be seeing rainbows. The calm after the storm is coming, and I think your relief is around the corner sooner than you think. Don't give up, and don't give up on yourself. And if you have been feeling like, if you've had that experience where like there's an angel and a devil on your shoulder, and that devil is telling you, do the easy thing, or do the thing that lacks integrity just for relief, or to walk away, or whatever, your guide is really encouraging you not to do that, and you'll be so happy you didn't. Like, make the choice that honors your integrity, that honors what you stand for. If there are any decisions like that you do have to make, because you will not regret it, and in fact, it will bring you more comfort and relief, and bring you opportunities and new insights that you wouldn't have had otherwise if you had taken the path of least resistance, or the path that lacked integrity or didn't align with your values. So let's see what help, support, and blessings they are offering you. So this guide is going to be discussing something that they can help you with or support you with. You just need to ask, or quite literally say yes to them. Yes, I want you to do this, because first of all, I don't think you may not realize that they can do this, and also you may forget that this guide is not going to do things without your consent. So, Group 1 Spirit Guide, what can you help Group 1 with? What support, offers, and blessings? Okay, there's boobies. But they can help get your titties. Just kidding. Okay. We have the Five of Wands, and with this Five of Wands, I'm like, I have all these different circular crystals in here, and no regular ones. Okay. Regular ones, as if circles aren't, there's no such thing as regular. Okay. All right, that'll work. No, it won't, because it's not in the frame. Let me lift this bad boy up. And I can't, because there's freaking crystals on it. Okay. One of the things that this guy can help you with, and this is actually hilarious, if you need a witty comeback, pray for them and ask for it. And don't respond prematurely to something, because they may help you with the greatest response and give you the best information needed in order to be support, in order to help you have the final say in a situation, or be able to defend yourself in a way that shuts someone else down that may be coming for you. Also, with the Five of Wands being here, they are more than willing to fight on your behalf. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, when things feel too challenging, ask them to tap in and be like, hey, can you, do more in the spirit realm to really help and support me? Or even you can even ask if there's someone or something that's really, really weighing on you heavy, ask them to help you. Ask this guide to help you, in the sense that they go to the source of whatever is bringing you so much strain and challenge, and whatever that source isn't assessing with or dealing with, they can go ahead and like bring in other things. Like, let's say, for example, this is a person and they're creating a bunch of problems with you, and you're just trying to be cordial and move forward, but the way that they're treating you is really weighing heavy on you. You can ask, hey, can you help me with this situation? And one of the things that they're likely going to do is, like, let's say, for example, this person has a lot of unresolved experiences with a parent. That parent is going to come in and they're going to be dealing with tons of chaos around that. And so then they're going to have to take a step back because they got their crap to deal with. It's like, instead of people creating problems with you, or people or things that are creating problems for you, this guide can go in and not make bigger problems, but reveal and force people and things to address bigger problems beyond what it was coming at you with, if that makes sense, which is really cool. They can also just be a source of strength and support when you feel like you're fighting for your life or fighting to move forward. And another blessing as well is that they can bring in connections or give you the courage to ask for help in the environment around you, for others to really just support you in this fight. I also think as well they can help you change how you view conflict or challenge or competition with others, where you start to see like your value. And I'm hearing Eye of the Tiger right now. Like I'm seeing like Rocky run up the steps. And I don't know if that song, like, you're the best around, no one's ever gonna keep you down. Like, I don't know if that song plays. No, it doesn't play on the Rocky thing, on Rocky, I don't think, but I think it does. But it is playing in my head right now. They can help you just feel stronger in the battles you're fighting and give you wisdom and guidance to fight your battles with conviction instead of hide away from them from a belief that you shouldn't stand up for things, or you shouldn't make waves, or you shouldn't cause problems. Can help you realize that sometimes fighting for what you believe in is not only worth it, but it's necessary. And I also think that if you're worried about others competing against you or being better than you, they can really help support you in terms of your self-esteem and recognize your value and recognize the value of what you're putting forth. And yeah, if you need something or someone to get off your back, ask them for help. You might be shocked at how they do. Okay, so what reassurance, Group 1's guide, do you have about any worries that Group 1 has? Can you give Group 1 any reassurance about the things that they've been worrying about? We have the Page of Cups. So one thing that they want you to know is that a lot of the reason why you feel incapable is because are afraid that things are never going to change or get better, is because there is part of your inner child and a part of you that remembers a time when you were powerless to change things and you weren't really able to stand up for yourself. Like, you didn't have the skills and the means because you were a child, but you're not a child anymore. And in fact, they're assuring you that there's a reason why you haven't walked away from this situation, and there's a reason why you haven't walked away from this challenge or retreated. It's because there's a part of you, and I feel like this is part of your higher self, that recognizes that like the younger version of you, the version of you that didn't get justice, the version of you that wasn't able to advocate for yourself, your higher self is like, no, we're seeing this through, because every iteration of us deserves it, you know? And I feel like one thing that they want to say is that I think you could be, if you need an apology from someone, you might be getting that from them. And actually, if it might be conflict that leads to an apology, or if it's like a court case, for example, you might settle in a way that things don't go to trial, and so then you things resolve more easily and you're happy about the outcome. But also, I think in terms of reassurance as well, I think that a lot of this, like whatever this challenge is, it might be more new, and so a future version of you is gonna recognize that those challenges, while very formative and empowering, were manageable and doable, whereas they may not feel manageable and doable right now. But that's only because you haven't experienced it yet. And I feel like what they're reassuring you is that you are stepping into a new level of reality, where it's a lot easier for you to integrate the part of yourself that is soft and gentle and whimsical and open and creative, with the part of you that is strong and firm and loyal and honorable. I feel like you are in this beautiful process, and they want you to know that you're in this beautiful process of bringing healing to not only your inner child, but also to the beliefs that your inner child created around what is possible for you and what you're capable of. And I also think as well, when you're really feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling stuck, pray to this guide, or just really speak out loud to this guide about like what you're dealing with, and you might be shocked at how they give you answers or comfort or reassurance in the form of a song, a character on TV saying something that is what you need to hear, being brought to a book, or literally anything. They will answer in the most playful, unique, creative ways possible that will bring you a lot of comfort and help remind you you're not alone. And that's the biggest reassurance they want to give you, is that you're not alone. You're not doing this alone. And also, you are stepping into a new level of reality where things are going to get a lot easier. And it's not that life is getting easier, you're getting better at handling it. But I actually do think in a sense life is getting easier, because there's just more faith in yourself. Okay, so I love that we have this question. Why did this guide choose to be your guide? So why did you choose to be group one's guide? Or I'm sure that I've with this guide especially, I think there's a lot of factors, but because they feel very protective over you with this 9 of Wands. Your safety and your ability to live out your journey in this life as you successfully is very important to them. I also think that they provide a level of protection and like a protective barrier for you that I don't even think you recognize is there. It's like they are, you know how like Secret Service will scope out a place before like a political person, a high level political person comes in? It's kind of like that, where this guide is vetting people and experiences before you even touch them or know that they exist, so that you don't fall into a pathway that would take you severely off course or make you feel less confident in yourself. Everything that you have experienced, I feel like they have helped and supported you as best as they can throughout that. But they always choose you too, because like they couldn't imagine not choosing you. Like, yeah, like they love guiding you, they love being a part of your life. And I also think that in general, they're just incredibly protective over you, and they're like, I know that I could do the job right, so why would I trust anyone else with it? Like, and I feel like even too, this guide is a little bit bossy. So like if there are other guides supporting you in this process, I do feel like this guide is a bit of a leader. And I also feel like this guide has a special connection to your energy system where even if you are blocking everyone and everything else out, this guide can still get through to you if it's absolutely necessary. They're obviously not going to violate your boundaries, but if you're feeling disconnected from everything, I feel like this guide still has a way to interact with you in a way that is still clear and concise, and like you can recognize it when it happens, whereas other guides may not be able to do that. So yeah, they always choose you. Okay, so now we're gonna look at different ways you can connect with this guide if you want to receive their wisdom. And you don't have to do this consciously, but really whatever way you want to. These are just options that you have. So for starters, we have the Land Between. So in this deck, the energy that this card resonates with is light. So number one, morning meditations or morning walks, anything that you do in the morning could be a powerful time to interact with them for whatever reason, or like 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. Could be like a powerful time. But also when you are overwhelmed and you are stuck in this state of things are changing, but they're not, when you're in that awkward phase of change and transformation, that's when this guide is especially potent. And they want you to know, because this is less about something that you have to do and more about an experience that you have had, maybe currently having, and will likely have in the future, where you're just in between one aspect of life and another, one stage of existence and another, one stage of self and another. And it might just feel very awkward and uncomfortable, and you might feel lost and uncertain. And this guide is letting you know that they are here for encouragement, reassurance, reinforcement. And not only that, I think in the dream world, you can connect with them through your dreams, and you can even ask them to show up in your dreams. I also think as well, you could, I think you already do, whether you realize it or not, connect with them when you get in certain states of mind where you're in a flow state. It's making me, if you ever seen the Pixar movie Soul, it reminded, like that was the picture I was seeing in my head. The main character, he plays piano, and when he plays piano, like he goes into this like other dimension where he's just like so in the zone with his piano, you know. You have that experience with this guide where you can really connect with them when you're in that place. And I think the funny part of it is that you may not be consciously realizing it, but it's almost because that's when you're the most open and just in the most fluid and aligned state with yourself. And that allows them to kind of be a part of your energy and connect with you in a way where you're not overthinking it or trying to figure things out or analyzing it. You're just receiving and experiencing. Yeah, their energy and their influence is especially potent during times of change, and their presence and their energy is especially strongest when you are in states like conscious states, like when you're half asleep or when you're in the dream world, things like that, when you're daydreaming, when you're half here and somewhere else. That's when you will find them being quite present. We also have curiosity. So I definitely think that you can connect with this guide by just doing new things and giving yourself freedom to explore and have fun. Read that new book, watch that new show, take that different way from home, travel to that new place, do things that excite you, that you're curious about, start learning that new language, try that new class. This guide loves seeing you step out of your comfort zone and loves seeing you in the process of learning, where you're not stressing yourself out so much and like judging yourself and critiquing yourself unnecessarily. When you're in this beautiful state of just openness and curiosity, not only do you connect with this guide, but also that openness allows this guide to just give you reassurance and reinforcement as you step into unknowns, unknown parts of yourself and unknown experiences that might make you shy or nervous, where you don't even know why you feel it, but all of a sudden you just feel like you can do it and that it'll be okay. This guide loves helping you step outside of your comfort zone and see new sides of the world. And actually, I think another interpretation of the Nine of Wands I'm seeing now as well is that another reason why this guide chooses you is because this guide is really good at helping you get out of set patterns or things you're not open to. This guide is really good at helping you be open to things that would be beneficial for you when it actually is beneficial for you. It's like they won't push you into something before you're ready, but they will encourage you to move beyond your comfort zone. And they're very good at doing that. Like that, just their method works for you very well. And finally, we have prayers and prayers and wishes. So this guide loves when you talk to them. This is a huge confirmation for me that this guide, pray to them, speak to them, ask for signs, share your wishes. And they also are saying, like, you don't need to speak to them formally. You don't need to speak to them in a way that you don't need to hide yourself from them. Be your true self. They are a friend. You know, my guides have explained that to me before, because like a lot of times as humans, we almost feel like we should be reverent and like put the spirit realm on a pedestal, but it's really a co-creation and a true like friendship. And I was questioning that. I was like, is that respectful enough? And they were like, well, do you treat your friends with respect? Yeah. Do you love your friends? Yeah. Do you honor them and you know, treat them well? Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that for you. You do that for, like, you know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Red skies, sunrises and sunsets, I'm telling you, they communicate in that powerful red sky. Like, they might show you a red sky as confirmation. If there's like a wishing well or a place in nature that you feel like that you can be alone and you can just speak out, you could really feel that guide's presence strongly in that place. But more than anything, they do, if you do anything, they really just want you to speak up, speak more, like just your random thoughts. Like you'll never annoy this guide. They love hearing everything that you have to say, all of your thoughts. And you know, there might be things you don't want to journal or that you know, don't want to write down, that you just want to get out. And to just get out of your head. This guide is the perfect guide to share all that with, and they love hearing from you. And also, when you do that, it gives this guide more opportunities to help and support you, because you're literally asking for help. You're literally opening up to their influence as well. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this reading off by getting a final guidance card from this guide. We're using the cosmic reading cards for that. So group number one's guide, what guidance would you like to leave group number one with, please? We have patience. Everybody loves to hear about that. Which is ironic because this guide isn't the most patient. Patience is surrendering to the now and allowing destiny to unfold at its own pace. If this card has come to you, slow down and enjoy the presence of the moment. Okay, well, I guess that this guide is very impatient when it comes to, let's do things now, let's go explore, like they really love to help you be present. Although you may have passion and drive to reach the moon, you're being asked to take things slower and feel the magic of each step, especially because you may be dealing with resistance or frustration right now. Each step holds lessons that bring you closer to the divine in you. By being too hasty with an attitude of needing your dreams and goals yesterday, you will miss vital life-changing moments that you are meant to enhance, enrich, and transform your soul. When you overlook or dismiss the lessons of each step and frantically race towards your goals, the end result may not always be as you had planned. You may get what you worked for only to lose it as a result of challenging, unforeseen obstacles. So that's something where this guide could really be helping you with challenges and obstacles now so that you don't lose them in the pursuit of your dreams. But also, if you did move hastily and are now facing challenges and obstacles, this guide's going to help you move through them and get in alignment in a way where that doesn't happen again and where you have everything you need and more. Now that you have attained what you desired, the next step involves striving to keep it. Yeah, exactly. If the lesson in each step was overlooked, the emotional challenges of maintaining this desire may be can be draining and emotionally overwhelming. Each step brings you lessons such as strength, wisdom, compassion, understanding, and patience, which allow your soul to grow. When these empowering life lessons are missed, you are not equipped to stand strong in the face of adversity. That's what they're really doing. Slow down and let nature's cycles take their course. Trust in divine timing. Take each step one at a time and embrace the beautiful opportunities and gifts of understanding that come your way. Your affirmation is, I am patient and grateful for the wonderful opportunities that present themselves to me for the growth and enrichment of my soul. And they're letting you know there's an opportunity on its way right now that is going to be very lovely and feel really good. And if you want to work on energy centers, the solar plexus and heart center would be areas to focus. So group one, that is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here and for letting me read for you. And thank you so much to your guide for coming through and letting me channel for them. Thank you so much for letting my ads play for the first 30 seconds. After that, you can do what you want, but that is just the most helpful and supportive way to support me. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates, subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, social media, other videos, ones with extendeds. You can leave me a tip. My Cashapp is palehag. If you Cashapp a tip, I can respond. But if you tip me on PayPal, that's just my email. I see it. I'm not able to respond, unfortunately, but I do see them and I'm very grateful. So thank you to everyone who does that. You could share me with a friend. You could just send me love and good vibes. I'm sending you those right back. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. I love you guys so much, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Serpent card and this brown rock that says hope on it, this is going to be your reading on the guide that is coming through for you and what they want you to know. And I think the first thing they want you to know is that not only that there is hope, and if you are really stuck in a challenging time right now, or you're having trouble finding hope or recognizing hope, maybe your name is Hope or their name is Hope, know that there's hope for you and not to give up. But let's go more deeply into these two cards. Are going to represent who they are or how they would describe themselves, and these two cards represent what they are helping you with at this time. So we have the Serpent, which you chose, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. And in terms of what this guide is helping you with, we have the Five of Swords and Isa, introspection, ego. So this guide, who they are is, they're a guide that is going to be with you for your entire life. They have been with you, they will continue to be with you. And I really do feel like this is a guide that is, what they truly do is they're always working in your favor based upon what is currently happening for you. So whether you're at a low point in life, a high point in life, whatever is happening, their main role is to help you make the most of every experience you have, gain the wisdom from it, and just support you in your journey to maximize your blessings and minimize the damage from low periods where, and what I mean by damage is like, minimize the inability to not gain valuable wisdom from those experiences, I guess is what I'm saying. And one thing that this guide wants you to know about them is that it seems like this guide at one point, a long time ago, but like in the concept of time, it's like time that you could not consciously perceive with your human brain. It's so long ago, it almost even feels like time before Earth, maybe even time during Earth. But this guide was actually part of separation consciousness. Some people call that demonic energy or reptilian energy or things like that. This guide has experience with some of the lowest of the low energies because they themselves have experienced it and gone through it. They have incarnated in some really dark places. They have incarnated as some really dark beings. And I would say they weren't even human. Like, these were other places and other dimensions and like as other things, not human people. But their soul went through a powerful healing process, and also I'm hearing like a process of resolution and retribution. I don't know if retribution is the right word, but they put in a lot of work to ascend beyond where they were. And so they have a lot of powerful wisdom and a lot of value when it comes to the shadowy realms. And I don't say shadowy realms in terms of the bad, but in terms of just our human experiences, the things that live in the shadows, the things that we're afraid of, the things that are all consuming, that are very low vibe, that this guide has experience with it. And so I do feel like one thing this guide wants you to know about them is that they are very protective of you, and they are also very skilled in navigating and helping you avoid very harmful energies that could take you off your path or make things worse. But also this guide feels a resonance with you because you, like them, have the very powerful ability to amplify whatever you are feeling, experiencing, or putting your energy into. And so one thing that this guide is wanting you to know is that they are a guide that will be with you at your highest and your lowest, and they will especially be with you at your lowest and love you just as much, if somehow possible, even more when you're at your lowest, because that's when they can be their most useful. I do feel like in certain ways this guide is not learning, but they're less familiar with the worlds of light in the sense that they don't have as much useful guidance there. It's like, you know, the difference between teaching, you know, math or science. Like, they're better at teaching math than they are English or something. And science, they're like, I kind of know a little bit about that, but my strength is math, and which makes sense because I do associate math with darkness. Some dark experiences for me. But that being said, they take a lot on in terms of clearing away energies, people, obstacles, barriers, experiences that would be too all-consuming, or when you get yourself in situations when you're around destructive, harmful, negative energies, entities, environments. This guide is a barrier of protection. They may not be able to protect you from everything, however, and this guide won't protect you from something if they know that you will alchemize it into wisdom. And so that's the thing too, is that this guide is not going to protect you from things unnecessarily. And a lot of times when, kind of the ironic thing too is that you don't know how many times this guide has protected you from something because it never happened, because they protected you from it. And so I do think there are certain experiences in your life where I wouldn't say like this guide was like, oh, you can handle it. Like, there are human horrors, right? Like, this guide can't override other humans' autonomy. And sometimes the best our guides can do is just be with us and try to support us the best they can as we endure whatever earthly horrors we're witnessing. But this guide specifically for you has expertise in helping you overcome, find wisdom in, and protect you from harmful energies, your own shadow self, things like that. And they're a guide that is going to sit with you through challenges. They're not going to force you to figure it out. They're very patient. And I also think this guide is very talented actually at remaining at enough distance so that you never get a full idea of who they are, but also creating enough of a connection that you know that they're there. Like, their energetic signature never changes. Like, if you ever felt their energy, it will feel the same way your entire life. There's something very just supportive about their energy, where it's like they're here to help, but they're not a helicopter guide. And they use their past experiences to support you, and they also use their past experiences and the wisdom that they've gained to try to help you, to try to make the wisdom you're gaining from yours easier. They might lead you to resources, to people, might put ideas into your head that end up being really helpful. Ultimately, though, their main purpose is to help you make the most of every experience you have in this human life and protect you from those experiences that would have no value or be so harmful in a way that to help you get out of your own way or help you stay away from certain, you know, roads or rallies or, you know, detours in life that you don't need to go down. But with that being said, what they're currently helping you with is it does seem like you are in a time of deep frustration and probably mental negativity. You're probably feeling a lack of hope. You're probably feeling frustrated. And I think the worst part about it is that you know that what you're feeling and experiencing isn't who you truly are, but you feel like you're stuck in this state of mind and in this mentality and in this energy that just feels honestly like really exhausting. It feels like you might be feeling defeated. You might be feeling worthless. You might be feeling angry, frustrated, jealous at others who seem to not be dealing with what you're dealing with. You might be feeling a lot of rage. You might be, whatever it is, it definitely seems like whatever spiritual capabilities you have to see beyond yourself, it seems like you don't have access to those right now. And it's not because they're being denied to you, but I do think that, like what I was talking about earlier, like the thing that you have with this guide in common is that you guys are very good at amplifying wherever you place your focus and amplifying energy. So if you're stuck in a really negative energy, you focusing on it and thinking about it can actually amplify it and make it even bigger and bigger. For some of you, you could have dealt with some sort of really harmful experience recently, or maybe someone said something really hurtful to you. Maybe you dealt with rejection or a setback or something frustrating, or maybe just, you know, the way what's happening within the world and, you know, the general overwhelm and negativity that's around us all the time is just getting to you. All of that is understandable. I definitely feel like you are struggling right now to feel prosperity, to feel hope, to feel like there's more out there, that you're capable of overcoming what you're dealing with, that you're capable of seeing things differently and moving beyond where you're at. And that's what this guide is here to help you with. And the thing is that they're not going to get you out of this state themselves. They're going to support you as you get out of it on your own. Because one thing that I see here as well is that part of why this state of negativity that you've been stuck in has gotten so bad is because there are unresolved wounds within you, that whatever experience has lent to you kind of spiraling into this place, those wounds are really highlighted as this sort of negative energy was kind of introduced or was brought to your doorstep. You know, if it came to you through an argument or through someone being unkind to you or through an experience that shook your confidence, or, you know, an experience of betrayal or conflict that was really painful for you, or just really, you know, starting to really pay attention to negative beliefs about yourself that you didn't, you know, that you stopped like arguing against or just stopped paying attention to when they started showing themselves. I feel like there is a part of you that does truly believe those things about yourself. And there's also a part of you, I think, as well, and I'm not saying this in a judgmental way, I'm saying this in a wow, that's like super relatable way, where it's almost like sometimes it's just easier to let the negativity and the darkness win. And sometimes it just feels like it doesn't feel good, but at least like it's exhausting going against what you naturally feel and what you see in the world around you, especially when it is negative or self-destructive or supports or confirms wounded beliefs about yourself, wounded beliefs about the world that are rooted in pain and negativity. Like, it's almost like this guide is kind of letting you spiral, because there's a lot of value in you seeing what within really responds to this state that you're in. Because I feel like there are parts of you that are really ready to join Team Pile 2, in the sense that of like Team Pile 2 that maintains like a really healthy, neutral perspective on life, that I wouldn't say doesn't allow themselves to spiral into negativity, but is gentle and gracious with themselves when they do spiral into negativity, that recognizes negativity before it takes hold, that sees their value and sees their worth beyond accomplishment, beyond productivity, beyond expectation, obligation, certain roles that you step into and play. This guide is here to help you recognize how you are holding yourself back right now, understandably, and also about the fact that you're really needing to slow down to be gentle with yourself. They're here to help you get out of this cycle of feeling stuck and feeling frustrated, whatever negative feelings you're having. They're here to help you get out of them, not by just saving you from them, but instead by helping you look at what parts of you respond to this state of being, and that provide fuel to help you keep focusing on it. There are certain wounded parts of you that get affirmed by these harmful states and by certain external things that affirm those wounded aspects of self. And the thing is those wounded aspects of self, they're not wrong or bad parts of you. They're just parts that haven't seen what they really are, or have forgotten what they really are. And so this guide is here to help you see that. And they're also here to help you see how it's okay to be in a state of negativity. It's okay to be quote unquote low vibe. Like, it's okay. There's just as much wisdom there as there is being in the light. And I don't think it's natural and normal for us to always be in one state of being. And I think especially when you're constantly stuck in a state of negativity, it can be really, really hard to get out of that. And a lot of times, naturally, our human selves don't want to be there. And so we try to avoid it, or we try to just move on, or we just try to, busy ourselves or pretend like it's not there, or not go within and self-reflect, or even be emotionally available enough to ourselves to realize that maybe this state of mind, or maybe this state that we're in, really needs our attention, because it's wreaking havoc on our nervous system, on our emotional body, on our physical body, on our brain. And so this guide is here to help you take a step back, see yourself more clearly, sit in stillness with yourself, and find the wisdom in what this experience is having for you, so that you can get back on to a path of momentum where you see all the beauty and blessings around you, help you be open to the future blessings ahead of you, and get you back in alignment with your creator consciousness, this beautiful, expansive self that you have, that sees so much, that has wisdom and value and beautiful things to share with the world. It's partially your negative experiences that aid to that. So don't feel like this time is worthless, or you're doing something bad or wrong, or that you're ruining everything. This guide is here to help show you that there's value in every experience you have, and that you're no less lovable when you don't like yourself, and when you don't like how you're feeling, and when you don't like how you're acting and the assumptions you're coming to. This guide is here to help you see beyond ego and beyond the egos of others that may have contributed to you getting back into a state that you didn't want to be in the first place. I really do think there's a part of you that may believe negative assumptions that other people have projected onto you, and this guide is here to help you recognize that those aren't true, and move beyond a state of separation and limitation from yourself, and recognize what limiting beliefs are holding you back, and recognizing what parts of you really need more love and care and compassion and support, so that they can stop identifying with these wounded beliefs about you, yourself, itself, and step into love instead of fear. So yeah, they're here to help you stop blocking your blessings and to see the blessings that are here now and overcome or recognize and start to address the parts of you that maybe trip you up or are more sensitive to keeping you stuck in states of negativity that you want to get out of. These states are really valuable because number one, so much wisdom to be had here. And number two, parts of you that you may not have even realized were there, or that you thought, you know, that you thought like didn't need addressed anymore. This is their opportunity to really speak up and say, hey, we need some attention, we need some care, we need some patience, we need some love. And so this guide is helping you do that without doing the work for you. And really helping you see the wisdom in this time, or just at the very least support you through it, so that when you do come out of it, you see the things you were meant to see, and you also get to release what you don't have to hold on to anymore, and in the future you're going to be less susceptible to going back to this state, at least in the same way. And also this guide is here to help you expand, dream bigger, have hope, create a level of expansiveness instead of a narrow-mindedness that feels hopeless and worthless. They're here to help you expand your mind instead of being trapped by it. And they're here to help you slow down so you can do that. You do not need to rush forward or shame yourself because you feel like you're behind. You're right where you need to be. And this guide really like understands where you're at, and like understands, like they love you so much, and they're like, yeah, it's so real and so human for you to be there. And I feel very blessed that I'm able to support you through that process, because, you know, I think one of the most isolating things about being in a state like this is when people are like, well, just stop, like just see the positives. And like, I hope that you didn't interpret that message from anything I was saying, because I'm not. You don't move through negativity if you neglect it. And negativity does serve a purpose, but you're not meant to be there all the time. Negativity can be just as toxic positivity, right? So let me actually just give these a good shuffle really quick, because we're going to move into your tarot. Oh, look, Wheel of Fortune again. They're like, listen, things are going to get better. The wheel always keeps turning. Like, you might feel stuck, but you're not truly stuck. But you are going to be stuck here until you actually stop and surrender to the stuckness, because there's something you need to see in order to move forward. Like, it's like a car that's broken down. It's like there is a part that needs replaced, or oil, or something. I don't know much about cars, but if you are enjoying this reading and you do want to show me a bit of appreciation, just liking the video is super helpful. So thank you to everyone who does that. Letting the ads play for the first 30 seconds, subscribing or commenting down below, and feel free to comment like what you've been dealing with and what you've been going through. Like, you know, I'm sure other group 2s are going to completely understand, and like, you're not alone. Like, it's hard to be there and it sucks. I'm sorry you're there, but it's human. And the fact that you're not denying it, and the fact that you are willing to sit with it and honor where you're at, that's really powerful. And it's just part of being human. Okay, so we're gonna start by asking what this guide wants you to know about this state of mind that you're in, and you know, just the situation in general. What does this guide want group number 2 to know? Yeah, your mentality is like your brain's making this worse. And the difference between the 8 and the 9 of Swords that I always like to point out is that the 8 of Swords are self-inflicted mental binds that you can get out of. The 9 of Swords is mental anguish that usually needs an outside source to help it. You can get out of this mental anguish on your own, but part of it might start with giving yourself permission to not self-flagellate anymore. It might start with calling yourself out and being like, okay, we haven't left our bed for 3 days. Let's take a shower and go for a walk. Or, hey, maybe we should write our thoughts down and see on paper what we're thinking about ourselves. Maybe that would help us see how ridiculously delusional we're being about ourselves right now. Like, I think we can think a lot of unhinged stuff about ourselves that like passes the mental radar fine, and then we write it down and we're like, wait, what? Because I also think you need to see that like you wouldn't put up with someone else talking to you this way. And maybe it was someone talking to you this way that really caused you to spiral into this place. But maybe seeing it on paper would help you realize how mean and untrue what was spoken to you was, that you don't deserve to be there. And I also think this guide is wanting you to know that there's a difference between stillness and avoidance. There's a difference between stillness and a freeze response. And so one of the things that you might need to address is your nervous system in a state of imbalance? Is your nervous system in panic? Is it in freeze mode? Is it in a place where it is not able to be relaxed, calmed, and centered? Because if your nervous system is not being given support and is in this state of survival and panic, it's gonna be a million times harder to get out of your thoughts, because your thoughts are gonna be 100% geared towards, oh, we're in this bad state, what do we do? And then you're gonna overthink and get stuck in analysis paralysis. One of the best things that you can do for yourself is move your body. Whether that's just walking, dancing, exercise of any kind, yoga, yin yoga, I think, especially because you might not have the energy to really move your body right now. Like, you might be exhausted from mental fatigue, which is so real. Look into like yin yoga, or yoga where it's like you're not doing difficult poses. You can literally do it in your pajamas. It's a lot more about breathing and centering and just getting into your body. I also think, though, they want you to know that whatever beliefs you have about yourself, whatever hopelessness, fears that seem really real right now, they're not true. They're just part of, the illusion that you're stuck in right now because of, the things that you've been dealing with. And, that might be hard to hear, or it might be comforting to hear depending on where you're at. But I feel like this guide is really saying, you're not trapped here. And in fact, there might be really small things that you could do that would make a huge difference. Are you hydrated? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you literally just like, are your blinds open? Have you gotten sunlight recently? Open your damn blinds. Like, please. Is your environment really chaotic and messy? That can be really overwhelming. But maybe start by not judging yourself, and then start with one corner and call it a day. Move in any capacity. It will be helpful. Even if it's just walking from your bedroom to your kitchen and back. Maybe more than once. Walking a lap around where you live. Walking around the block. Anything. You're not trapped here. And in fact, I almost think getting some mental, like, exercise is a great way to get mental energy out. One, movement in general is a great way to get energy out. Therapists actually do things like go on walks with their clients and stuff, because walking and movement helps people be more open and helps create a sort of distraction that makes talking about difficult things less overwhelming or less confronting, because you're not having to just sit there in it. You're doing something else. So I definitely think that they're recommending doing something like that. And also they also want you to know, like, the veil of negativity that you're struggling with right now, it's not the truth of life. It's not the truth of who you are. And you don't need to judge yourself accordingly. Your feelings are valid and what you're going through is valid. But also you have total permission to let it go whenever you want. And also, you might find a sense of power in recognizing as an illusion, even if you have a hard time believing that's true. Clarity is coming sooner than you think, but it starts by knowing how to process your energy in a way that allows you to get excess destructive internal energy out, so that new energy can flow in, if that makes sense. So what help, support, and blessings would this guide like to offer Group 2? How can this guide help Group 2 that Group 2 may not be aware of? This guide can, number one, help you with bouts of mental clarity that help you challenge lines of thought. In addition, this guide can give you bits of inspiration and moments of clarity when you need it that can really help you cut through a lot of confusion and chaos. On top of it, this guide can start to show you belief systems, thought patterns from others outside of yourself. Like, just bring those to you naturally, likely through the internet, because it's a beacon of negativity, and help you see outside of yourself how maybe that's not accurate or true. Or see someone else talking about themselves the way that you've been talking about yourself and realize, oh, they don't deserve to talk to themselves that way. That's not, like, I think they can help put up a mirror to what you're experiencing and realize that maybe you're being too hard on yourself, or maybe what feels true for you, what feels acceptable and okay for you isn't when you see it in someone else, when you see someone else experiencing it, or you see, if you're really good at seeing what's wrong with yourself and the world around you, you can definitely see what's wrong in the mentality of others. And it'll be confronting and liberating to see, oh, I have that same mentality and I can tell it's wrong. And it's not helpful. You might find a lot of value in just seeing certain things happening with you internally and realizing, like, oh, that's what this is. Could help you grasp it and understand it better. Another thing that they can help you with is bringing people into your life or inspiring people to communicate with you. That could be really helpful in assisting you in cutting through mental fogginess, illusions, fearful thoughts. And I will say that these people don't seem to be the most emotionally lovey-dovey. They seem to be very clear cut, but what they say rings so true you can't ignore it or deny it. I don't know if this is the guide to call upon when you want, like, this guide will give you love, of course, but this really goes back into how their vibe is very consistent. They are not the type of guide that is like they are a love bug in different ways. Like, they're not gonna like wrap you up in a blanket and swaddle you. They're gonna love you in a way where they're like, you're capable of handling this, but you need help here. Here's the answer. Like, they're very the way that they love is more cerebral and more rooted. A lot of how they love is rooted in truth, not emotional care and support. Emotional care and support, you might want to look at a different direction, but this guide can bring you people, sources, mirrors, anything you really need to see the truth in what you're thinking, so that you can cut away illusions that don't serve you. And they're happy to do that every time. Just ask them, or just say yes now to letting them bring that to you. So Group 2's guide, what reassurance can you give them about this time that they're in? What reassurance can you give them about this energy of hope? The Knight of Cups. This is actually really cute. So one reason why they're like, you don't need me to like swaddle you and be like, oh baby, it's gonna be okay. Feel like for a lot of you, I think you find that emotionally uncomfortable anyway. But one of the things that they want to reassure you is that you're gonna get back up on the horse. You're gonna get back up and keep moving. And in fact, they want you to know that your emotional world is important and is powerful. And I would say it's likely that there's another guide that is more like lovey-dovey, like, oh, I do just want to energetically swaddle you and tell you it's okay and rock you in my metaphorical rocking chair. I feel like one thing they want you to know is that guide is helping you in the background, but any work that they're doing in your emotional body and heart space is likely going unnoticed by you or hard to pick up on because you're very much in your mental body, and probably detaching from your emotional body because it might be really painful to feel what you're thinking and what you're and how you're seeing the world right now, which is completely understandable. So one thing that this guide wants to assure you is that if you want to feel lighter, if you want to feel excited, optimistic, see the beauty and like the love that you have for yourself, the love that you have for your life, the love that you have for your path, the love that you have for others, like, you know that all those things exist. And that's why it sucks when you get stuck in this state, because you know it isn't you, but it's like, how to, like, I totally get it. I totally get it. So one thing that, and this guy does too, and so one thing that they're saying is it's like, it's in this stillness and actually sitting with this and undergoing the process to really address what needs your attention and cut through what doesn't serve you, that will naturally get you into a lighter state where it's easier for you to be in your emotional body again, where you are feeling hopeful, where you are like excited about your future, excited about where you're headed, excited about who you are, you know. And also, if you're a creative person, they're reassuring you as well, like, your creative well hasn't run dry. In fact, I think this period of time is going to be a powerful source of creative inspiration for you, or just inspiration in general for your forward path. They definitely want you to know that things will get easier and will get better. And if you want to get to this point sooner where life feels lighter, exciting, and you're feeling the emotional nourishment that comes from moving through a challenging time and realizing that you did it, and that in fact, you know, the fun house mirrors that you thought made you a monster, you get a normal one and you're like, oh wow, there's the real me. I love that person, and I love how I feel when I'm being that person and seeing the world through that person's eyes. Like, you're gonna get there, and it's gonna be okay. The sun is going to come out, and you will move through this time. It's okay. And more than anything, I feel like they want you to know too, it's okay to not be in your emotional body right now, if it is too painful or overwhelming for you to sit in. Focus on the mental realm. That might actually, the mental and physical realms, actually, I would say put the spiritual realm on the back burner. You don't need to be thinking about things spiritually. Your guide has this covered. In fact, multiple guides have it covered. You just need to be focusing on your mind and your body. As those things are cared for and they shift and get into a more neutral to positive place, depending on what is comfortable for you and what is doable for you, you will start to naturally get back into your emotional body and your heart space. I do feel like there's a protective mechanism within you that will emotionally detach from yourself if you are in a particularly challenging or negative place that you feel stuck in, because the emotional pain of being there might just make it all the more challenging to move out of. So I feel like one thing they're reassuring you as well is, like, part of the reason why life feels dry is because your emotion, like, you're not getting water, you're not getting emotion right now. And so I feel like they're reassuring you as well that you will naturally reconnect to your emotional body as your internal state gets lighter and as you start to just get out this excess pent-up energy that is weighing you down. And that might take time, and it's okay if it takes time, but ultimately you're not stuck here. And that's the biggest thing they want to reassure you, is you're not stuck here. And also stop, I gotta be honest, stop fucking blaming yourself for being here, okay? It's so human for you to be there. And the beauty of being here is that you get to see the parts of yourself that really need you and that really need reassurance from you and support from you and protection from you and acknowledgement from you, so that you can say, oh, you are really affected by this negative thing, by these experiences that really harmed us in the past, or these experiences in the present that, you know, mirror these experiences we had in the past. Oh, okay. You need integrating in a loving way. Like, this part of me needs love. And it's in integrating those parts that you will find a lot of lightness. If you are interested, you might want to look into IFS, I think it is, inner family systems therapy. And you might think it's like families, like your whole family, but no, it's a process of therapy that helps you identify different parts of yourself and bring healing to them. It's pretty meditative. It's really cool. I would really look into it if you haven't. It can be a very powerful way to see yourself, to heal. And the cool thing about it too is that it is very, like, you have someone facilitating with you, but you're doing a lot of it yourself. Like, you're getting the visuals and things like that. It's really cool. Okay, so let's see why this guide chose to be your guide. So group 2's guide, why did you choose to be their guide? We have the 7 of Wands because they know where you've been. They've been there. They have also been through it, and they wanted to be part of the resistance. I don't know if this guide really likes Star Wars or you really like Star Wars, but I'm not very familiar with Star Wars, so I apologize. Like, I'm probably going to butcher things, but this guide knows what it's like to be in both, I don't know, whatever the space Nazi Darth Vader like group is, and the resistance, the First Order, that's what it's called. They've been a part of the First Order, and their heart is really aligns with the resistance, and they know that your heart does too, and your heart has been affected by First Order BS, and they're very passionate about giving you the guidance, the support, the reassurance, and the spiritual support necessary to be able to fight against those parts of you and those parts of the world that want to keep you down, keep you small, make you believe that you're not worth it, make you believe that you're not good enough, make you believe that you have to act in ways that don't align with your heart, make you believe that you have to settle for less, that you have to be a version of yourself that isn't you, that you have to stay in places where you're miserable, that you have to be a version of yourself that is miserable, that you have to accept harmful behaviors from others. They are really like, they're here, they chose you because they see your inner warrior, and they also see your heart, and they recognize that part of your gift and part of why you are here is to traverse some really dark and really intense experiences and come out on the other side. So not only can you support others that are in that place, but also to gain the skills, wisdom, understanding necessary to realize that there's so much more than what so many people can see that are stuck there. To be a leader, to be someone who has the courage to stand up against the fearful masses. And also to walk your path even when the current is going against you, and to be strong enough to swim against it in a way where you realize, like, even if I let the current carry me for a little while, I'm going to keep swimming and I'm going to keep moving forward. Like, this guide feels a deep sense of resonance with you, and they chose you because they saw your spirit, they saw who you wanted to incarnate as, they saw who you wanted to become, and they wanted to be a part of every step. They wanted to help you and support you, and they knew that their gifts and their skills would be beneficial to your spiritual team, and they feel very grateful to be a part of it. And I think it's interesting too that we have an eclipse here. It's like the sun is behind the moon, and so it's kind of like this dark moon going on. To see the light behind the darkness, that's part of your path. That really resonates with them, and that's a big reason why they chose you. So now let's see how you can connect with them. These are not things that you're obligated to do. These are just different suggestions that this guide has for ways in which you can connect with them and receive their wisdom or receive what you need in order to move forward. So we have great and full. So this connects to earth energy. So one of the things that you can do is focus on gratitude. What are you grateful for? You know, one thing that really helps me when I'm stuck is to be grateful for things like, I'm so glad I don't have a stomach virus right now. I'm so glad I can breathe through my nose. Like, you know how, like, when you get sick like that, you're like, I can't believe I took for granted all the times that I like my stomach didn't hurt or that I could breathe through my nose. Like, even just stuff like that can be really helpful. You know, looking around you and within you and seeing enough and feeling this sense of like, wow, look at all that I have. And here's the thing, if you live in a really cluttered environment, at least right now, or you've got a lot of like crap around you, stop looking at it as crap and instead see it as evidence of your abundance and be like, wow, I'm so abundant, I literally have too much. and maybe I need less so that I can have more and bring in more and make space and create. But also, they really want you to, part of how you can connect with them is by reflecting on who you've become through your life path thus far. Because I think that there are a lot of qualities that you don't give yourself enough credit for that you cultivated on your own. Your fortitude, your cleverness, your quick wit, your willingness to keep going even when things are so taxing and frustrating and you literally just want to like throw humanity away, including yourself. Like, they, when in doubt, find a way to see your environment, no matter how chaotic it is, your body, no matter how challenging your relationship to it is, and realize and find the beauty in it, and find what you're grateful for about it. You know, I'm grateful to have these four walls around me. I'm grateful that, you know, I have running water, and you know, I don't have to like worry about cholera. I think those are great things. I don't know. Does anyone have to worry about cholera? I hope not. Anyway, another way you can connect with them, the Oracle's gift. So I really feel like, I say this all the time, anxiety screams, intuition whispers. So if you can get into a place where you're out of your head, at least enough to where you're open and receptive and listening, this guide will give you really powerful bouts of clarity and opportunities to see things differently. One of the things that this guide really wants you to see more of about yourself and about life in general is and are the things that we take for granted when we are stuck in a place where everything is dark and everything sucks and is bad. Because we're not ungrateful when we're in that state. We're just struggling. And one of the beautiful things about stepping into gratitude is that it can really, it may not eliminate those feelings, but it can at the very least create some balance where your brain does have to take a step back and be like, oh, you know, well, the sun does feel really good on my face while it's shining. And I do love how beautiful the stars are at night. And I do love that my animal friend is here and, you know, sharing space with me. Or I love that I have such soft blankets on my bed. Like, even just small things like that can be really powerful. And I think as well, this guide stepped into the light when they had an incarnation that allowed them to be more psychically open. And this guide is also stressing, like, do not compare my path and your path and journey to mine. They're so different, and you can't, like, your human brain cannot quantify or understand, like, what I was actually experiencing. Like, me, like, talking about their experience, it's through a human lens still, so that it's understandable, but it's like, you were incarnated into a human body, so you have psychic capability, whether you tap into it or not. You've been given access to every human energy when you incarnate in a human body. So one thing that they're telling you is that if you can get to a place of mental quiet or to a place of just mental openness, there's a lot of power in terms of you starting to get quick downloads, powerful visions of the future from this guide, where they're not grand or overly promising. If anything, these visions are going to be about you seeing solutions that would allow you to change, you seeing things about yourself that help you be more gentle and loving, you seeing things that are problems and getting the solutions from them. Instead of just seeing the problems, they can help deliver you the solutions. You can see versions of yourself that you've wanted to step into in the future and know, oh, I'm headed there. They're going to give you, well, and that's the thing too that I really like about this guide, is that they're never going to spoil the magic of your life, because one of the things that this guide is responsible for is helping you get out of your own way so that you can get to places more grand and beautiful than you could fathom. And they're not going to show you what those things are, because they might overwhelm you or make you feel like you're not good enough for them, or make you believe like you can't do it. That's not what this guide is about. This guide is about focusing on you so that you can have more, be more, do more, and experience life in a way that many others can only dream of, and that stay stuck in the belief that they can't have that. they're definitely going to give you inspiration when it's needed. We also have cleaning. So yeah, I definitely think that you could feel closer to this guide by just cleaning in general. Maybe asking someone for help could be really supportive there if you need it. I also think there's a lot of really great YouTubers that do like really intense, deep cleans for people that might provide some inspiration for you, or also help you just be gentler with yourself, because people can be really judgmental and cruel about the cleanliness of spaces. And I oftentimes think like our space is a reflection of our internal world. And so if your space is chaotic and disorganized and messy, or, you know, even really bad, it's probably just a sign of that's how you're doing. And it can actually be really healing to start cleaning or ask for help or open yourself up in that way, because it can be really amazing how cleaning or just tidying or making your space more livable or relaxing can make it easier for your nervous system to calm down too. Cleaning isn't necessarily always the most enjoyable thing, but doing what you can to make it enjoyable, I think, is powerful. But also, I think that cleaning is one of those things that, number one, gets you moving, and number two, gets your brain into kind of a liminal flow state because it's boring, so you're not really thinking too hard about what you're doing. And that will allow your guide to come through and give you like powerful bouts of clarity, tell you things that you need to hear, or say, hey, tomorrow, do this thing, or hey, get rid of these things, you don't need them. Put these things that have been sitting out for forever in that cabinet. Boom, clear space. Looks so much better. Hey, you need a plant here, and I'll make you feel better. Go Google cheap plants that are good for spaces and that are pet safe if you have pets. You know, like they're gonna be very like, they're gonna give you grounded, practical advice that's really powerful. Like, this guy kind of reminds me of the feng shui guy. Like, the feng shui guy is, I would say, funnier and more jolly and jovial than this guide is. This guide has seen some shit and seen horrors. But the way that they remind me of the feng shui guy is that, like, the feng shui guy will be really honest with you and also does not put up with excuses. This guy doesn't either. And one of my favorite things that the feng shui guy says is, fix it. You have a problem? Fix it. And, you know, while we can't fix everything, there are a lot of things we can. And so this guide will definitely help you see where things can be fixed. Finally, we have given to passion. So the biggest thing, and I think that what this guide wants for you more than anything, is to have the powerful human experience of creation. Like, humans, we came to this planet to create. We are creators inherently. It's part of why we're all so deeply disconnected and unhealthy, because we're in a consumer culture. Balance your consumption with creation, but also when you disconnect from doing things that you love, that make you feel lost in a moment, that feel good, that you're passionate about, like, negative states of being can make it really hard to do those things that you feel passionate about, because you're just judging what you're doing, or you find it hard to get in the moment, or you're just angry and frustrated because what you're doing doesn't seem right. And so this guide is really willing to support you through that process. Like, you know, if you have a creative thing that you really enjoy, but you're having trouble, you know, being passionate about it or feeling good about it, ask this guide to show you what needs to shift in order for you to surrender into passion again. What do you need in order for that as a result? But also, I think as well, one of the things that got this guide to really step into the light for the first time was feeling passion and love. And I think it was for lots of different things, for experiences in dimensions and incarnations that were unique to those beings, and, you know, love for creation, love for themselves, love for others. These experiences that were greater than fear, anger, hatred, you know, whatever it may be, and that helped heal them from those mentalities or those belief systems, or I guess whatever, like, you wouldn't call them mentalities or belief systems and like where they were in this time, but like, I don't know, they were a whole different thing. I can't even, my human brain can't quantify it, but I don't need to. It doesn't matter. Even if I could, it wouldn't make sense anyway. Ultimately, there's something very magical about surrendering into a flow state that allows you to be passionate. I brought this movie up in the last group, but the Pixar movie Soul, the main character, he plays piano, and when he plays piano, he gets into this flow state where he's just like in the moment, and like his spirit kind of goes to this place. I can't remember what they call it in Soul, but like, you might want to watch that movie. That might be a good movie for you to watch. It's making me want to watch that movie, I'm not gonna lie. I think what would be helpful for you as well is to just, what this guide wants you to see, not because they're showing you, but because you're seeing it yourself, is the flip side of the beauty of being human. You know the horrors of being human. You deserve to step into the beauty of being human more often. And I think that there are ways for you to do that, and the things that are blocking you right now are simpler to release than you might realize. And things that feel good, that make you feel passionate, you don't need to justify yourself why you deserve to engage with them. Just give yourself permission. Like, you deserve to be gentler with yourself, period, and to do things that excite you and that feel good. And honestly though, it might take you some time to get there. And I feel like this guide is saying too, you know, you might have to sit in stillness and sit and be in introspective and be in this place where you're just kind of focused on body and mind. And then you'll start to have energy and openness and the desire to do things that allow you to step into your heart and your soul. So we're going to go ahead and finish this reading off with a final guidance card from this guide. They're a very cool guide, I have to say. They're an excellent example of a guide that has been around for a very long time and has and knows the value of a redemption arc, and knows the value of traversing the shadows, the darkness, the spectrums of experience that exist in the cosmos, because they all have value, they all have wisdom. And the true spirit of creation and the true spirit of spirit doesn't judge or condemn or hate. That's a human thing and other beings thing, but yeah. Anyway, spirit guide of group number 2. What guidance would you like to leave group number 2 with? Ah, man, there's nipples everywhere. Nipples everywhere. Okay, so we have choices. Luckily, they're kind of low key, so I think I'm still probably gonna censor them. But okay, choices. I walked into that. I was like, oh no, boobs, and then I turned the page and forget there would be boobs on there too. To make your decision, ask yourself, which experience allows my soul to grow? If you've drawn this card, you've come to a crossroads in your life where choices and decisions need to be made. This period can be quite challenging as you weigh your options. Your mind tells you one thing and yet your heart feels differently. The mind with all its logic reinforces your core beliefs in what is safe and secure with creature comforts and stability. Your heart, on the other, pushes you to explore possibilities and adventures that seem all too foolish and irresponsible for the mind. Dearest one, your soul longs to grow, evolve, and expand to higher states of consciousness. Your heart knows this, and as it is the guiding force within you. The mind is the vehicle that assists you in getting where you need to go. Are you growing in your current situation, whether it is in a relationship or working environment? Or does spirit have to bring outside influences such as changes in your working environment or a new friendship to cause you to review your current relationship? If it is external influences that are pulling at your heartstrings and not your current situation, then it's pretty clear that the place that you are in is not serving your highest good. It may be serving you on a physical creature comfort level, but your heart and soul needs more. You need to be challenged and pushed to make breakthroughs. Well, I think that's what you're doing. You are being pushed and being challenged. Why play it safe? You have one life to live, and the mission isn't to be too cautious. Our goal is to grow and expand. One song for you, honestly, a song for you that could be kind of an anthem, Life We Live by Project Pat. Excellent, excellent song and very inspirational and a vibe. You've one life to live, and the mission isn't to be too cautious. Our goal is to grow and expand. Closing doors in your life may not be easy. Trust your heart and inner guide that you are being taken somewhere beautiful. You are not alone. Divine guidance surrounds you continuously. Your affirmation is, I am courageous as I listen to the guidance from my heart. And if you want to focus on energy centers, the solar plexus and heart would be areas to look at. But I would start with the solar plexus. I think that would be really beneficial. So, group 2, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to your guide for coming through and letting me channel for them. And thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else, at least for the first 30 seconds. That is the simplest and easiest ways to support me and show appreciation for my channel. So thank you to everyone who does that. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. I usually see comments when I first upload, but honestly, if I'm being really real, I'll be vulnerable for a second. I've just been like really anxious and overwhelmed recently. About like just reading the thoughts of others, even though they're generally very kind and beautiful and they warm my heart when I do read them. It's just like I'm yeah, I don't know. I'm doing my best. I'm just protecting my mental health. That being said, you can check out Kino's candle, check out Kino in general. You can check out merch, social media, my candles. You can tip me. My Cashapp is palehag. I can respond to you on there. I cannot respond to you on PayPal, but I do see those and they do warm my heart, and I'm very grateful. Thank you to everyone who does that. And my PayPal is just my email. You can watch other videos, ones with extendeds. You can share my videos with a friend. You can send me love. I'm sending you love right back. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back in and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Sun Bear card and this rock that says gratitude, this is going to be your reading on the spirit guide coming through for you that wants to talk to you. Full breakdown of the reading in the intro, but we're going to start with these 2 cards to represent who this guide is, how they would represent themselves, and what they are helping you with. So we have the Sun Bear, and we have the 4 of Swords. We also have the 7 of Pentacles, and we have Elhaz here. I believe this is also called Algiz, protection shield. So this is really interesting because this guide, I feel, came into your world. Like, I don't think that this is a guide, well, this guide might stick with you through the rest of this lifetime, but they didn't start this journey with you. I think if anything, this guide joined your spiritual team because you reached a level of spiritual expansion, personal growth, empowerment, and awareness, where they saw that they could serve you well and support you in your journey. This is a very, 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 very powerful guide, and I would not be shocked if this guide has many faces that are quite powerful beings. If there is a being that popped into your head, I think that you can get some confirmation there that it might be them. But this is definitely a guide that just, like, it might seem confusing to you, but their power very much is harder to detect they may be very powerful, but they're not loud, I guess you could say. I do have to do the Wrinkle in Time rant. Okay, so if you've ever read the literary classic A Wrinkle in Time, that book does a very excellent job of depicting, the book does an excellent job of depicting spirit guides and spiritual energy. And the oldest spirit guide, I can't remember which one. There's like Mrs. Who's It. I know she's in the middle. Mrs. What's It. I don't know. I can't remember. It's the oldest one. But basically this guide is so old and so evolved that even being able to materialize physically or use energy for speech. Like they're so light and ethereal and powerful and old and wise that they have a hard time condensing themselves into material presence, into verbal speech. The way, and the reason why this is coming through is because, well, I guess I do need to get this rant off my chest, and I will in a second, but I'm not going to take away from there. This guide is kind of like that a little bit, where they have, they're so grand, so like the way that they communicate on their terms, but it's also partially because showing their presence in physical ways might be unnecessarily taxing, but also the way that they're able to reach, like the part of the reason why this guide chose to join your team is because they knew that they could actually reach you and they could actually benefit you. Like there are plenty of people on this planet that this guide cannot serve because they would not be able to literally receive insight, guidance, and communication from them because of where they're at. It's just a mismatch, a misalignment. This guide, you need to have a level of spiritual awareness, spiritual sovereignty, spiritual integrity, and the ability to go within, to meditate, to listen, to have an internal presence in an inner world that you connect with, a spiritual world, and a connection to your own intuition, and to have some level of spiritual awareness and spiritual ability that you use with integrity, grace, and in a balanced, harmonious way. That's a big reason why they don't work with people that they feel would abuse spiritual gifts or that they feel would not use spiritual awareness to their benefit. The Wrinkle in Time rant really quickly. The movie, that could be a whole video about how the movie just butchers the book. And I'm like, you shouldn't adapt a book into a movie if you're gonna make it suck. And the thing is that in the movie, Oprah plays the spirit that is the one I just described in the book. And the whole freaking point is that spirit is so loving and so aware and so like part of the cosmos that it can barely materialize into human perception. And what do? They make Oprah a giant figure in the sky. Literally the antithesis of what she's supposed to be. And then on top of it, Reese Witherspoon, she's one of the guides, and she's the way that she wouldn't be a spirit guide. Like, I mean, I know obviously this is fiction, but like if you watch Reese Witherspoon in that movie, the way the writers wrote her character, she's the youngest guide, the most inexperienced. Why the fuck did... Ugh, that was kind of creepy. That's not how a spirit guide behaves. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I was like... I understand there are challenges going from print to visual mediums, but if you can't properly and translate print into a visual medium well, then don't do it. Or make it animated. Or do something else. Because... you butchered a really excellent book and makes me mad. We shouldn't see a giant Oprah in the sky when she's playing that character. We just shouldn't. Although the girl who plays Meg is really good. She has some range, I will say. Chris Pine's in it as well. Anyway. So that guide has this kind of vibe where they are... you're not going to get overt signs of them. Like, they're not going to be loud. They're not going to be in your face. In fact, a lot of times this guide is going to do work for you, is going to help you, going to support you, and you're not even going to know it happened. In fact, I feel like more often than not, you'll realize that they were behind something in hindsight rather than while it's happening. I feel like this guide does most of its work with you while you're asleep anyway. I feel like it guides other light beings to do energy work on you. It might set up or bring in or become a part of your dream world, if it supports you. This guide also comes through a lot in order to support healing meditation and help you build intuitive strength. But the thing is it's usually not doing that by like showing up. It's usually doing that by supporting your process. Like rather than interacting with you directly, it's like creating a solid environment for you to get what you need. It's almost like it creates almost an energetic womb for you for whatever you're growing into to prosper. And so it's more of like, instead of them like showing you or teaching you directly, it's more them allowing you your own process where they're giving you the optimal environment and the support and the healing or energies, the ideal energies needed in order to integrate this growth and facilitate the best environment for this growth. And I think that's the thing, is this guide is so hands-off. It's like they're not pushing you in any direction. They're not guiding you in a way where it's like, you need to do this. They are a guide that's really more like, oh, okay, group 3's going in this direction, and I see that they are in this process of growth. Let me create this environment or create this healing, or, you know, talk to my other guide friends and have them, you know, talk to someone and bring them, you know, a spirit or an opportunity or a person or an experience that will really aid their growth. And that's the thing about this guide, is like, you may not sense their presence very often, but their work behind the scenes is quite powerful. This is like, if you could almost think about it as a movie, where it's like you're not seeing a lot of the parts of the movie, you don't see, you know, all the work that goes in behind the camera. They're not acting, they're not, I wouldn't say they're even directing. I would say they're almost like they're like an enlightened version of a corporation that's like, okay, what resources does my group 3 need in order to make this growth process as beneficial as possible? Okay. And also I think too, this guide is very much like, you align with their vision of what they want to see on Earth. Because I feel like this guide guides beyond Earth realms. They guide in other places as well. They're like very broad. Like I feel like I keep hearing like ninth dimensional. Like they're very like, there are a lot of faces this guide can have in more overt ways. But like I feel like this guide is very like, they don't need to be front and center. If anything, they're more of like a behind the scenes type of person, helping orchestrate the ideal circumstances to support others already on an aligned path that they have been supporting in many different collectives in many different places. And what they are aligned with is a reality that allows for more quiet, more rest, more intuition, more spiritual energy, more cultural awareness around healthy spirituality, giving people in general, giving beings in general, the ingredients, people, environments, energies necessary to support their own spiritual processes and help them continue to align with their own highest goods. And so, yeah, it's like they're really kind of a guide that's like I'm not guiding you in a direction. I'm following the direction you're on and giving you what you need so that you can be successful. And I don't need credit. You don't need to really hear from me. I feel like the reason this guide is really coming through right now is to let you know that they're there, because I feel like their work is so subtle to the conscious mind. You might not even realize that they've already been working with you and helping you and supporting your path. And I feel like also one thing to know is that this guide choosing to work with you is a huge honor. Like it's a level of spiritual awareness, spiritual growth, spiritual integrity, and spiritual power that is significant enough to get this like giant being's attention and be like, oh, they could use my help. I'm happy to help them. They can actually receive it. Like, yeah, it's really cool. So what they're helping you with right now is, number one, they are a protective source for you, where they like, and this kind of plays into what I was talking about, how they create the optimal environments and optimal and help guide you to, or bring you to, or get other beings to bring you or lead you to whatever is needed to support your path. This guide is all about protecting what you've already created for yourself, which is your spiritual power, alignment with your path. And also, I think you've built a level of stability and material wealth for yourself. And you've reached a point in your life where you have, where you've seen the results of hard work, but you're still in a deep process of growth. And this guide is here to help you continue growing, but in the most stable and empowered way possible. And so if you've been having a lot of fears around like, oh, what if I ruin all my hard work? Like, I've made so much progress, but I feel like I feel like I haven't really done anything. Like, this guide is really here to let you know that you shouldn't be so afraid of yourself, because first of all, you got here all on your own. This guide didn't tell you what to do or where to go. In fact, I feel like this guide didn't come in until there was a level of like, you had to reach a certain level on your own to even be able to, for this guide to even be aware of you, and for you to even be able to be open and receptive to what this guide could offer you. So this guide is here to protect your growth, to protect your earthly expansion, to help support you in building more stability, more wealth, more, and help you bridge the gap that's often seen between the spiritual and the material. You're building a really solid, beautiful life for yourself, and I think there is a part of you that is so afraid that it's all going to fall apart, or that you're going to mess it up or something like that, and that's just not the case. I also think there are parts of your path where this guide is just helping you get ready. And I also think that because you have a level of spiritual power, because you are growing, and because you have such a capacity to do good, to bring light, to bring goodness to the world, this guide, one of their main purposes is ensuring that influences that would be attracted to your light that could severely take you off your path, or, you know, make those fears that you have come true. This guide is here to ensure that that doesn't happen. And the thing is they're not going up against these forces and stopping them. I mean, maybe they would, but I feel like if anything, they would call like a spiritual dispatch, and like if they needed spiritual intervention to like protect you, they would call the being that would be best suited to do that. But more often than not, what they're doing is supporting you in the spiritual processes that you've already been in working on, that you've already been growing into, and nourishing those in a way that make it so that you're not even drawn to or attracted to destructive forces that might undermine your success, your work, your stability, and what you've created for yourself. This guide is here to shield you from things that would thwart your growth or harm you before you were able to stand in certain energies on your own or integrate certain aspects of growth. They're essentially here to help you with your hard work that you're already doing, and ensure that it's not thwarted, or that you're not given what you need to succeed, and as a result lose progress or lose momentum on your path, or believe you're not capable or not good enough, because you are. Like I do just have to stress, like, it's actually a huge honor to have this being working with you. And the thing is like, this being would be like, no, like it's this being wouldn't say that. I would just say that because like just to get on this being's radar, you gotta have that spiritual dog in you. That's all I'm saying. Like, you got a powerful light, a beautiful light that this guide wants to help and support you in serving. Okay. So, and I like how they're even shown as like this knight. It's like they're helping you and giving you what you need, but they're not doing things for you or telling you what to do, because you don't need that. You just need, like, it just benefits you to have support and also someone keeping an eye out, so that if there is some specialized spiritual assistance you need, or if there is, you know, a place on this earth or a person that you could be guided to that would support you, or, you know, an opportunity that you need to see, this guide has connections out the wazoo. Like, that, when I say broad, I mean broad. Like, they got a lot, like this guy knows everyone, like knows so many beings. And so they can do like spiritual networking and like get you what you need. Like, there's a lot of things that they don't provide on their own, but they do know another spirit that could assist you in that, or they know of another being that they're guiding that would be really aligned with what you're doing, or they know of an organization that is perfectly aligned with what you're cultivating and would assist your growth. Like, they know how to make things happen. And get you what you need in order to support your growth. And also ensure that you're not thwarted or led into egoic. Like, one of the things that they're also doing as well is helping you step into this spiritual power in a way where it doesn't go to your head. Not saying that it would, but like, you know, that can happen. And that can be harmful both to the self and to others. And I think this guide is really insistent on ensuring that the spiritual growth that you have and that everyone under its care has is given it in a way that doesn't give someone too much too soon and cause them to use what they've been given in a harmful ways, usually without realizing it, or buy into illusions that make it hard for them in the future to trust this spiritual energy. So they're helping you step into this growth in the most healthy, balanced way possible, so that you're not having to learn these powerful lessons or deal with like intense tower moments because of what you didn't see. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into your tarot now. And honestly, I think it's really cool that we're even hearing from this guide in general, because they're usually like in the background. So this is like when you're watching like a DVD or something, and you get like the director's commentary or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's start by asking, what do they want you to know about this, about your growth, about their protection? Whoa, okay. We have a lot that they want you to know. Let me make sure there's no nipples first. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. Oh, there are every single group I've been, there's titties to contend with. Not that I have a problem with that, but my corporate overlords do. Okay, so we have we have Justice, the Seven of Pentacles again, and the Six of Swords. The biggest thing they want you to know is kind of reiterating what I already said, but they want to commend you on the progress you've already made, especially the progress you've made in the earthly realms. One of the things that this guide is here to help you do is ensure that you make positive decisions with your resources and use them wisely, so that you don't have to deal with material fluctuations that create spiritual distress and take you out of the connection to your spiritual side. Part of their focus is ensuring you don't fall into a state of survival mode that makes it challenging or nearly impossible to stay connected to yourself. I feel like they're really encouraging you, though, to be patient. You might be feeling like you're not making much growth. And if you feel like you've been stagnant for a long time, it's likely because you're integrating some really powerful energies that take time and take time for your body to open up to, take time for your mind to become aware of. And I also think that one thing they want you to know is that they are helping ensure that your spiritual expansion stays in alignment with integrity, honor, and truth. And they also want you to know that you are moving forward, whether you realize it or not. And your path will move forward a lot quickly after you've integrated whatever spiritual cycle you're in right now. But I think you might feel like you're not moving forward right now, or that like you might just be feeling frustrated. And this guide is wanting you to know that you're moving forward a lot faster than you realize. And on top of that, just because you can't see the power of what your work is creating doesn't mean nothing's happening. And they also want you to know that they are assisting you in ensuring that you facilitate this growth in a balanced and just way. And I think there also might be some encouragement there from them to stop judging yourself so harshly, because that could be impeding your spiritual growth in a way where you may just not be giving yourself enough credit, or not giving yourself opportunities to recognize the value of your spiritual growth and like how much work you've put in to do that. I would also say as well, one thing they want you to know is that you are, how do you want me to put this to them? I guess the biggest thing that they want you to know is that you don't have to be so conscious and focused all the time on what you think you need to be doing. You don't need to micromanage yourself, micromanage your spiritual path. If you have micromanaging tendencies, take them to the earthly realm, take them to your finances, look into new ways that you can just make smart decisions for yourself. Do things like that. But even then, you can relax a bit and trust yourself a bit more. As long as you're prioritizing a sense of balance and ensuring that you're not too far in the spiritual or too far in the physical, you should be fine. And as long as you stick to your honor and integrity, you will continue to move forward smoothly. The only time they're not going to be able to save you from yourself is when you get stuck on a path that does injustice towards yourself or others, and you're unwilling to see the truth about something, or you're not seeing the truth about something that maybe is harmful, or you're allowing others to tell you something that isn't true, that you are accepting because you don't trust your own judgment. That's another thing. They want you to trust your own judgment and give yourself space and the freedom to move forward when you see truth. You don't need it to be confirmed. You have a strong and powerful intuition, and you're also a fair and balanced person. So if your own intuition guides you to make decisions or see things or set boundaries in certain ways, and your conscious mind starts to feel guilty about it, or judge yourself, or feel like you're a bad person, or fear what repercussions might happen as a result, not only is this guide helping protect you from that stuff and make it so that anything you do have to deal with is not as severe or intense as you may be fearing, but also this guide is here to help you see that you don't need confirmation of everything in order to trust your intuition. That in fact, the most powerful thing to do is to just trust it and see and keep moving forward. It just saves yourself a lot of unnecessary grief and a lot of crap and chaos that leads to imbalances. So let's see what help, support, and blessings they are offering you that you may not be aware of. I feel like they kind of already, let's just see what they want you to know about that. What they are here, what they can help you do, if there is something that you need and that you know you need, unless that thing would be harmful in a way that wouldn't support spiritual growth, in a way that would take you off your path, they are here to help you with what you need quickly by connecting you with the right beings, right people, right information. And I feel like to work with them directly, one of the ways that they can help you directly is cut through mental chaos to get into a deeper state of mental rest. Because I think that because this guide communicates in very interesting ways, and the way that they communicate to you versus someone else is very different. They definitely communicate according to what your mind is able to perceive, and also what is just going to be the quickest and most effective way for them to let you know something. And a lot of times it might hit you so quickly, or it might just be it might be here one moment and gone the next, that you might almost doubt it, or you might might be like, whoa, what was that? Or should I even trust that? That's when you feel into your intuition, right? They can give you those spurts of information, clarity, awareness, opportunities, communication, bringing in others, or giving you the inspiration to call on others, ask for help from others. They can give you guidance on what the most beneficial step would be. And they also, when you ask for help from them, you're going to get it really fast. Like, I was thinking of them earlier as kind of like a 911 operator, like when I was talking about how like they're probably not going to directly protect you from any like spiritual harm, but they might call, you know, a spiritual being that can directly protect you. They have a level of responsiveness where when you call and you need something, they will get you what you need, usually through a different means, usually through calling on someone else or something like that. If you don't get anything from them, it's probably because you don't need it and they're trying to get you to see that. But also, if you do want to communicate with them, you need to be in a state of mental relaxation and mental openness. And be ready for it to happen quickly, almost like lightning. To be clear, to the point, and to make an impact. And make sure you write it down, put it in your notes, put it in a voice note, something. Because it might leave your mind as quickly as it enters. Because this guide is so like, oh, I don't want to intervene. Like, oh, they are so background. And also just, they're like, I don't even know how to explain it. There's just something about their energy and their frequency and how they share information. It is lightning fast. And the power of it, like typically they'll give you answers that are not what to do per se, but rather a step in the right direction, a hint, or something even like, oh my gosh, this is making me think of an experience I had a really long time ago. I had a question about something. And every time I asked about this question, like, all I saw was a Cheshire cat. And then the universe eventually answered my question. Like, the thing I was curious about happened. And then during that day, I saw the Cheshire cat like 3 times in like just around in the world around me. And so it was kind of like, it wasn't necessarily guidance, but it was like a Cheshire cat was kind of saying like this is when it's going to happen, or like, it was an answer, but it was like, I didn't get the answer until I was already there. And it was already like, oh, so that's why I kept getting the Cheshire cat. So the way that they communicate can be kind of confusing, or it can be like, I also feel like the way that this being perceives time, or like, I guess time where this being is, it doesn't work the same way. So that could also be part of why these things come in so fast. They may not even know how to slow them down at this point. Like, they may have like lost the ability to make it more palatable to human perceptive abilities. So that could be part of why they're like, I literally cannot work with certain people, because like they're just not gonna get anything from me, and I'm not gonna be able to help them. When you do receive something from them and you don't understand it, you will when it's time. And I think part of the problem is that in terms of how we experience its guidance, is like, in from that being's perception, they are literally answering your question. But because you're in a different place in space and time, the answer lies in a future experience you haven't had yet. And so while you'll get the clarity in that future experience, in the present, it's confusing. It's like, okay, you're giving me the symbol of a dog. I don't know what that means. Like, if that makes sense. You can ask them for help and you will get clarity, but you may not always get it immediately. And they will give you what you need lightning fast when you do truly need it. Sometimes what you need is to be left with yourself and allow that alchemical process to happen. Sometimes you might just want support when truthfully you don't really need it. And so if you get nothing and you're asking for support or help, It's probably because you don't need it. But I think there are also other beings that you could ask for help, like especially angelic beings. Just go to them, because this being is gonna be like, you don't need it. Nah. I'm not even gonna like, because they would also be like, you know who you can call if you truly need that. Like, you have enough awareness of certain beings that you know who or what you can go to for support in that aspect. So know that if you truly need something, they're there, and they're there lightning fast. But if you don't, that's a sign that they're like, you already know what to do. You have a solution for this, and you can do it. Because this guide is definitely very much a hands-off in ways where I'm not going to give you unnecessary help, or it's all about, like, your growth is always in the front and center of everything. And they are just here to help support it. So let's ask this guide now if they have any reassurance for you around any worries you may have. We have the Empress, which is beautiful. This guide is wanting to assure you, first of all, that you are exactly where you need to be. And also, if you sometimes feel like you don't belong on Earth, this guide is assuring you that you're on Earth for a reason, and it's reminding you that Earth is part of the cosmos. It's not separate from it. The idea that you're no less part of the cosmos because you're a human is an illusion. Like, the Earth is literally part of space. So you are just as cosmic here as you are out in the stars. And they're also wanting you to know that you're in a perfect process right now, and everything is flowing very naturally. You are creating and evolving and growing in very profound and beautiful ways. You're attracting what you need effortlessly. And I feel like one of the things that this guide is wanting to reassure you is that you don't even really need me. Like, I'm working with you because I, number one, can, and number two, am in resonance with what your path is. I'm in resonance with your heart. I love who you are. I love what you do. I want to support you, but also know you could do all of this without me. And in a lot of ways, you've done a lot of it without me, and you're going to continue to do things without me. I'm just going to ensure that what you don't need me for continues to be smooth sailing. And if there are factors where you do need me, or I can make the process easier or get you somewhere sooner, not rushing, but just giving you a little bit of help or support, or finding win-win outcomes with all these connections that I have, I'm going to help you. But know that you can do this all on your own. And actually, one thing that they want you to know as well is that you actually attract what you need just naturally through your growth and through your heart, through your gentleness, your patience, your yin energy. And that's actually partially how this guide knows what to give you, is because you're kind of sending out that frequency to them, that of what you're embodying. And they're like, oh, okay, they could really benefit from this. And I could see, doesn't really seem like there's anything in their environment that could immediately support them in this process. So I'm going to get them connected with that person. And I'm going to tell this guide to show them this sign and lead them in the direction of this book that will help them. Oh, and I definitely think if I'm sending them this energy, this guide could help facilitate it. That will really help them integrate this process and feel really balanced as a result. Like, they're really cool. I feel so lucky to like be like channeling this guide. This is so cool. I hope you feel lucky to like have them as a guide, because it's really, really cool. And yeah, I feel like they just want you to know, like, you are so worthy of all the blessings you've already received. And it's okay to continue to want more, because you're a generous person. You're generous by nature. And the universe is supporting your path, supporting you, and giving you so many blessings and helping you in receiving more, because you are generous with them. You use them in beautiful and abundant ways. And your natural state is prosperous, abundant, loving, generous, and kind. And they want you to know that that's who you are deep down. And there might be times where you have to deal with people that are jealous or wonder why you have things that they don't. And it's usually because they haven't undergone the same process as you. they haven't done the inner work, or they don't have the wisdom or the capacity, or that's just not their path or their journey. Stay focused on you, and stay focused on what is loving, what is aligned, what feels good for you, and be patient and let this process unfold naturally, because it's unfolding well and you're growing beautifully. And they couldn't be more, I wouldn't say the word proud, but they couldn't be more adoring of who you are, what you've become, and they couldn't give more approval than they already do for your process and your growth. So we kind of already talked about this, but let's see if there's anything else they want to add. Why did they choose to be your guide? We have the Seven of Swords, mainly because they did not want, well, number one, like the reasons already listed, but another one that they are speaking to is, this is more so related to modern earthly challenges. Well, and they're like, modern from your perspective. There's a lot of mental sabotage and separation consciousness in the collective. And there are also a lot of beings that are attracted to light like yours. And it could be really easy to get into relationship with a being that isn't aligned with your highest good. Or it can also just be really easy to fall into self-deception, self-betrayal, or let people into your environment that could betray you or sabotage your path. They chose you because you have something worthy to protect from yourself and from others that might want to thwart that, and not in a way that takes away your sovereignty or because they think you're not capable of protecting yourself. It's just more so allowing this process to happen more seamlessly. And also, I think that they recognize that they could help create a more supportive process for you, where you're not constantly questioning and feeling confused about your path, which you might question and feel confused about your path now, but I feel like there's acceptance in it rather than tension and frustration and a dire need for answers. They chose you because they could actually reach you. They chose you because they know that your heart and intentions are pure. And they chose you because they know that if you were to ever make a decision that was in alignment with integrity, honor, your true heart, they know that you would see the truth, you would make corrections, and you would accept the growth and learning from that with grace. And they would love you just the same and support you in facilitating that process. I also think that they chose you because you're one of the few people on this planet that's able to see very clearly through the illusions that we are fed every day, and we're willing to reject those and say, no, actually, I want to live in a different way. I know this doesn't serve me. I may not know the truth, but I can find my truth, and I know what isn't true, at least for me. And they're like, oh, I want to help you. I want to help you. I want to help you help others and help yourself see truth, see the values that humanity is capable of having, and see the egregious deception, illusion, and separation consciousness that's being reinforced in the human collective right now, and give you the ability to liberate yourself, support that process, and show others that they can do the same. This guide really, really loves cutting through mental BS. Actually, this is really interesting. One of the things that this guide finds beautiful, but also frustrating about human consciousness and human brains is that they can be so powerful but so self-destructive, and like humans are so, the mental body being as powerful as it is can be such a blessing and a curse. And I think one thing that this being is really passionate about getting in balance is a healthier collective human mentality, and you're part of that process. So let's go ahead now and see what this guide is suggesting for you in terms of what you can do to connect with this guide or connect with its energies. And once again, this guide is reinforcing, like, you don't even necessarily need to consciously connect with me, because you'll connect with me and you won't know that you're connecting with me, because it'll be that subtle. But these will assist you in receiving what you need from me. And also in doing these things, know that I'm there even if you can't feel me. So we have a tall tale. So this guide, whenever you see something, whenever your bullshit detector goes off, this guide is here to help reinforce what you feel. I also think that this guide connects with you through just what we were talking about, where you have the opportunity to reject illusions that don't feel true for you and reject illusions that you know aren't true. You have the opportunity to reject manipulative behaviors, things that create stories or create things that disconnect you from self. And this, you can also connect with this guide by, if you truly want to connect with them, one of the things you can ask for them, and it falls into this Knight of Swords, if there are any stories you're telling yourself or belief systems that you have about yourself or about your habits or about anything in your world that might be self-destructive or not supportive of your growth, if you ask this being for the truth, they will give it to you lightning fast. And it might be hard because your conscious mind is going to want to be in denial about it, but your intuition and your heart's going to know the truth. And so this being will be happy to give you the support that you need and the truths that you need to continue growing and weed out anything that might stall it or create confusion or keep you stuck in illusions that don't serve you. We also have Fortune. And I would definitely say that one way you can connect with this being is by focusing on making decisions that increase prosperity and focus on mentalities that support prosperity. So like the one thing I was saying earlier, like, you know, are you using your resources wisely? Like, are you, you know, recognizing all the blessings around you? Are you in a state of abundance or a state of lack? Whatever it is, it's okay. But also I think one way that you can connect with this guide or connect with what it wants to support you with is engaging in cultural practices, rituals, or celebrations, holidays that center around, even if they're not your own, as long as you're being respectful, it could be an opportunity to meet new people and be in an environment of celebration and prosperity. Engaging in celebratory experiences, holidays that allow you to be in an energy of celebration and an energy of generosity and an energy of recognizing and acknowledging the, number one, the abundant nature of the universe, and number two, just the amount of joy and positivity and love and generosity that can exist during these times of holidays. I think that could be really helpful. Also, this card is really making me think of the goddess Lakshmi. I think she really embodies the energies I'm describing on a much deeper level, like not necessarily what I'm describing, but she embodies very prosperous, loving, beautiful energies. And I almost feel like this guide is saying you could read up on her or connect with her or something like that. Maybe there's anything like that, like, or you could just look up what she represents, what her energies are, and maybe there's another being that you resonate with more that you could connect to. Anything that gets you in the energy of feeling abundant, feeling grateful for what you have, seeing the beauty not only in yourself but in humanity, seeing like the reality of like, wow, we're so blessed to have this earth that we can live and breathe on and share love and kindness with each other. It's like one of those things that reminds you your work is not for nothing, your healing is not for nothing, and your growth isn't for nothing. And in fact, you're doing something very powerful and very important. You're showing people truth. And the truth is a lot more beautiful and probably scary too. But you've gone through that and other people need to see it too. And that's kind of part of the process. And also, I think one thing that this being wants you to see is that you are very valuable. Like your spiritual growth is very valuable. It brings value to your life materially, but also it brings value to others. And it definitely wants you to celebrate yourself and celebrate your humanity and celebrate the expansion and growth that you've had within a human body, because it's impressive and really awesome. And we also have gratitude and thanks. So I definitely think that this being would just, because you probably don't even know they're there, I'm hearing that like they would be very receptive. You would probably feel them most powerfully when you're in a state of gratitude and like thanking them directly for their influence in your life. You might show up as like a white cat or a butterfly. Oh yeah, because we have 2 white cats here. Koi fish maybe, lilies or tulips, maybe a top hat or a marionette doll. Anywho, I definitely think that they, even if you don't connect with them directly, you'll connect with what you need by centering yourself in gratitude and being grateful and thankful for all of the resources and support, known, seen and unseen, known and unknown, that are supporting your process. And just know, like, you're transforming all the time, and the spirit worlds are grateful for you. And know that they don't take offense when you're struggling or having a hard time feeling grateful. That when you're having a hard time feeling grateful, that doesn't mean you lack gratitude. It might just mean you're tired or stressed out or just going through it. But in those times of being tired, stressed out, and going through it, one of the best things you can do is recenter yourself in gratitude and focus on what you do have and what you are grateful for and what is going well in this moment, because it can help balance out the other stressful experiences you're having simultaneously. So we're going to go ahead and finish off with a final guidance card from this being. This reading has been so interesting. I'm going to sleep well tonight. But this guide of pile 3, what guidance would you like to leave pile 3 with? What do they need to know? Beautiful. We have be fearless and the number 3 again. So 3s and 5s and 8s seem to be very significant with this guide as well. Okay. 3, 3, 3. Do you really want to look back on your life and see how wonderful it could have been had you not been afraid to live it? Has fear been holding you back from pursuing your dreams and following your heart? Do you hold a fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of change, fear of making a mistake, fear of what society may think, and fear of life and death? And that's the thing, is like, your fear is deluding you into think you're not already solid in your path and you're not already doing great. And this guide is letting you know, like, you should be fearless because we're protecting you anyway. We're like, the fear of failing can be immobilizing, and many wonderful opportunities are missed because of it. It serves only as a wall stopping you from living a joyous life. When you hide behind that wall of fear, not only do you slow down the process of transformation and growth, but you also attract what you most fear. For example, if you have a fear of not being worthy, you will find yourself in situations and circumstances that validate those fears. Building those walls of fears do not protect you from the unknown. It keeps you imprisoned within a cycle of challenges. These challenges may come in different disguises, but ultimately they hold the same energy. To transcend this repetitious wheel is to shine light on and face those inner fears. This is not a battle, but an act of pure love and compassion. Go within yourself and find out from where these fears stem. Fears are usually born from something you've seen, heard, or experienced personally. Send the shade within you love, understanding, and compassion. You are stronger than you realize. Take that next step and live your life fearlessly. The prayer is, Great Spirit, give me the strength to embrace the fears within me with love, compassion, and light. And the energy centers that you can work on are the root chakra and the sacral chakra, if you are interested. Pile 3. This was such a cool freaking reading. I'm so grateful to be able to give it. But that is where I'm going to leave this. So thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background for the first 30 seconds at least, because that's one of the things that helps me stay prosperous. So thank you for doing that and lets me, not have to take sponsorships and do this for free. But also thank you to this guide for coming through and being so supportive and generous with its perspective and what it has to say. It was just really cool to see a little bit of how it sees things, kind of senses things. Other ways to support me, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, my social media, and you can check out Kino's candles, my candles. You can check out my other videos, ones with extendeds. You can share me with a friend. You can send me love. You can leave me tip, palehag on Cashapp, or my email on PayPal. I can respond on Cashapp. I cannot respond on email, but I still see it, and I'm still very grateful. I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you so much for being here and for letting me read for you. I really hope this reading was helpful. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back in and see me again soon. Bye!